What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. This is my first video. I wanted to share some of the drawings that I've done with you guys. Most of them are video game drawings, most of them Nintendo related. Some other video games are included in there too. But let's just get started here. This one here I drew with Crayola pencils. We got the mirror shield here. We got the ocarina from Zelda, Pikachu from Mario Land. We got Shy Guy and Goombas. This is the very first thing I've ever drew. Drew this in November 2016. I kind of got interested in them really out of nowhere. Just kind of started looking at art online. I was like, man, that looks like fun. So I just started doing it. So let's move on here to the next one. After that, we got Snorlax. This was also done with Crayola pencils. At a certain point, I did transition over to Prismacolor, but I still had, this is mostly done with Crayola. Once I did get my Prismacolor pencils, I went over this and kind of just shaded back over certain areas of it with Prismacolor. But it came out pretty good. Snorlax loves pizza. You can tell he's pretty happy here. So he's attacking that thing. He already ate a fish, so he's making his next move. This one I drew also November 2016, so almost right after the last picture. This one was drawn. After that, we have Squirtle from Pokemon. This was a mix of Crayola and Prismacolor, I believe. Squirtle himself was done with Crayola, and then later I kind of tried to go over it with Prismacolor to make it look a little bit nicer. The Crayola pencils don't blend very well. The Prismacolor ones blend very well. So the waves and stuff, those were all done with the newer Prismacolor pencils, and I believe the lily pad was done with Prismacolor as well. Sorry about the glare. I'm still working on my lighting. Hopefully you can see it okay though. But yeah, this one was drawn June and November 2016. So same month, but a couple weeks later though. And after that one, I moved on to Zelda, where I drew Majora's Mask. This was all Prismacolor. Here's my first full Prismacolor drawing. I got the fire arrow over here, the lens of truth, the Hyrule shield, and the Triforce. This one came out pretty well. It took a long time. I'm especially proud of probably the shading here. It was a mix of gray, black, and white, and it just took a long time to do all that stuff. Even on this little sheet of paper, these are all 8.5 by 11, by the way. So not very big, but still pretty time-consuming. But it came out good. The eyes came out real nice, and I'm really proud of this one. This is one of my favorite drawings. This one I drew in December 2016, so about a month, a couple weeks after the other one, but we'll keep on moving on here. This one is just an owl. I found this picture out on the internet on Google Images. I kind of like the picture. The background's not very good. I'm not sure what I was really doing there, but the owl itself, it's still neat. I like the coloring, and the actual owl online, it was different colors in this, but I kind of just made up my own colors and just to try out different things, and I thought it'd come out. It's kind of abstract, and I like the way it came out, but so it's nothing special, but it's nice. And after that, I drew we're back to Pokemon again. I drew a Ninetales here. This was done Prismacolor as well. Everything from this point on will be Prismacolor. Not a whole lot to say about this one. It's a cool picture. I drew the actual Ninetales first, and then I kind of just worked in some background scenery, and did what I could with it. I figured maybe he'd be out in the desert because Ninetales is fire Pokemon, and put the little volcano back there maybe to like enhance that feeling of that he's a fire Pokemon. But this one was also in December 2016. After that, I drew a Shy Guy. It's got a Yoshi coin up here. The pipe came out really well. I'm really proud of how the pipe came out. Here we go, eliminate some of that glare there. that came out real good. The red, it kind of has like some type of whitish tint in it. I don't know why the Prismacolor pencils do that. Maybe it's something I'm doing wrong, but it's kind of I've had that problem kind of across the board with the bright reds, that it's hard to draw it and then like blend it together without it kind of getting a little bit of white in there. But still looks really good. Since he's wearing like a piece of cloth, I think it actually makes it more look a little bit better in this case. But I really like this one. The clouds are all happy, and yeah, this one was really nice. This one was March 2017, so took a little break, and then a couple months later, I decided to draw this guy. Shortly after him, we drew Star World from Super Mario World. This is one of my favorite ones. I really like how the blues came out on this. They're really dark, and there's a lot of color into it. The clouds came out really good. That's fairly close to how they look in the game, I thought. Um, the measurements when I actually drew it, kind of what I do is I'll find a picture online and I'll try to scale it down into my to fit what I'm doing, whatever sheet of paper I have. But yeah, this one came out great. If you've played the actual game, like there's a background out here, like where Mario's lives would be, and it's kind of just like the background menu area. I went ahead and put in some power ups up there to make it look a little bit cooler, just to add something else to it. Yeah, it came out really nice. Oh, and this one was April 2017, so about a month after the Shy Guy. Next, I moved on to I got some oil pastels, and I made a Thwomp Stomp. The oil pastels are kind of hard to draw in great detail with, at least for me. But like I said, I'm not a very experienced drawer or colorer by any means. But I find in general the pencils are a lot easier to draw with detail in. If you want to draw big shapes and stuff, oil pastels are really cool because how they blend together and how you can overlap colors with no problem. Like if I were to put like an orange on top of this gray, it'll just almost be the straight orange. It'll be it just goes right on top of it. Whereas if you put a pencil in there, it's going to be kind of hard to see an orange in the middle of a dark gray. But that's probably the biggest difference between the two. But it's still pretty cool. I gave this one to a couple of my friends at work. They seem to like it a lot. This one was also April 2017. And then I did another one, another oil pastel piece with the Diablo 2 logo here. This one I'm actually pretty proud of. I don't know if you can see it in here just because of this case. Let me take it out. I'll slide it out here. Yeah, you can kind of see it. You'll see I like did a little bit of white in here just to kind of make it so it's like not completely pitch black, and adds just a little bit of depth to the picture. Um, the flames came out pretty good, and you can kind of see how you can it's just real bright on top of this black. I put some black under here, and just boom, you just put some white on or orange on top of it, and it just goes right over it. That one is pretty nice. I like that one a lot. That one came out, or I'm sorry, that one I drew in May 2017. All right, next we got, this is for your old schoolers out there. This is the EverQuest Druid class 1.0 Epic. This one here is the 1.0, and this one here is the 2.0. The 1.0 came out in Ruins of Kunark. It's got like some clovers here that float around as a particle effect in the game. So I drew those in here. I tried to make them transparent. You can kind of see here where I put a little bit of transparency in them on top of the sword just to show kind of that you can see through these. This is the 2.0 Epic that came out a few expansions later. I believe it was Omens of War. And I got to put a little glow effect up here. It came out pretty good, I thought. It's got a gem in the middle. This one I drew in also May 2017. So these are all pretty close to each other. The next one is just something real simple. I just had this in my binder with the rest of the stuff. This is the Diablo 2 sketch of the drawing we saw a couple drawings ago. I'll probably end up doing this in colored pencil, so that way I have one in colored pencil and one in oil pastel. I'm not really too motivated to do anything with it right now, so it's just going to be sitting. Lastly, we have Charizard. This is part of the Pokemon card game. This is the first edition card I tried to draw on here. Uh, you can see over here it has what they call, I think they call it the shadowless uh, border, indicating that it's the rare version of the card. First edition has a shadowless border on it. Charizard himself, I'm very pleased with how he came out. Um, it was actually kind of hard to get him to scale and proportionate and everything for somebody who's new like me to drawing. But it came out really good, and the actual card is like a refractor, which means like this part here is like really shiny. I tried to emulate that. I put some white colored pencil in there and try to blend it together to make it a little bit brighter. It came out. I mean, obviously you can't make it look like a hologram or anything with a pencil, but overall I thought it came out really well. You get his fire breath here. The Charmeleon was really hard to draw just because of how small he was, and I kind of did him towards the end of the drawing, and I was getting kind of bored and getting kind of frustrated with it. So he didn't come out super great, but overall, I'm really pleased with this. I think it's awesome. I actually had the card back when I was a kid, and I sold it on eBay, probably in like year 2000 or something for like 20 bucks. And I kind of wish I still had the card, so I kind of drew this to make up for this. I figured it'd be more fun to draw than it would be just to like buy the card again. Um, when you make something, you're kind of proud of what you did. So it was fun to draw, and yeah, this one I drew last week actually. So this is this has been drawn a lot later than all of my other drawings. But anyways, if you guys like these, they are for sale. Some of them are for sale, I should say. I'll put a link down to my Etsy account in the description below. And if you want to check it out, go ahead. If you're not interested, that's fine too. But if you like the video, please drop a like. And I do plan on coming out with more videos in the future. I'm not sure what rate yet, but please subscribe. All right, thanks guys.